If you've ever bought concert tickets, you've probably felt that frustration at checkout when suddenly the extra fees appear. You're not alone.
One of the major categories of junk fees are ones that companies charge right at the end of the purchasing process.
That's why President Joe Biden on Thursday announced a broader effort to crack down on what he calls junk fees imposed by ticket companies, banks, airlines, and other industries.
The solution is what is called all-in pricing.
The announcement comes as Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Airbnb this week committed to disclosing total prices up front. And according to the White House, concert giant Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster, will commit to all-in upfront pricing in September. More entities could follow suit after Biden hosted a meeting at the White House with an array of firms, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, Airbnb, and a small venue in Des Moines, Iowa.
This is a win for consumers, in my view, and proof that our crackdown on junk fees has real momentum. But there's more to do.
Biden has called on Congress to pass legislation that mandates upfront all-in pricing for all ticket sellers, bans surprise resort fees charged by hotels, eliminates early termination fees charged by cable, internet, and cell phone companies, and bans family seating fees on airlines. But the battle continues. The Transportation Department last year asked U.S. airlines whether they would agree to pay at least $100 for delays of at least 3 hours if the airline was at fault. So far, none have agreed, and several airlines have spoken out publicly against the proposed rules.
A federal grand jury has indicted a U.S. Air National Guardsman over the leak of military secrets online, according to the Justice Department on Thursday. 21-year-old Jack Douglas Teixeira is accused of committing one of the most serious U.S. security breaches in recent history. The Massachusetts native was arrested in April after allegedly posting highly classified information on the messaging app Discord. They contained information on a wide range of subjects, from Ukraine's air defenses to Israel's Mossad spy agency. That sparked concerns about how a low-level airman could have such broad access to military secrets. President Joe Biden has ordered an investigation.
Yes, I've instructed the department to make sure that they get to the root of why he had access in the first place.
Teixeira was indicted on 6 counts of willful retention and transmission of classified information. Each charge carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000.
The U.S. hit North Korea with fresh sanctions on Thursday after the South Korean military said Pyongyang fired off 2 short-range missiles. The Treasury Department said it had targeted 2 China-based North Korean nationals it accused of helping obtain materials for Pyongyang's ballistic missile program.
So we will continue to take action to hold people accountable for such activities.
Japan's prime minister said the North Korean missiles landed in Japanese waters and said there were no reports of injuries. The reported launches came as South Korea staged military drills. Pyongyang had warned the exercises would be met with an inevitable response. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller condemned the actions by North Korea, or DPRK.
These launches are a clear violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions. They demonstrate the threat of DPRK's unlawful weapons of mass destruction and ballistic missile programs posed to the region, to international peace and security, and to the global non-proliferation regime.
This comes as U.S. President Joe Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan was in Tokyo for meetings with his Japanese and South Korean counterparts. They discussed North Korea's missile program and confirmed they would work closely together to get Pyongyang to abandon its nuclear weapons. That's according to a Japanese readout of their meeting.
U.S. retail sales unexpectedly rose in May, another sign of consumer resiliency amid fears of a slowing economy. Data released by the Commerce Department on Thursday showed retail sales increased 0.3%. Economists polled by Reuters had expected sales to slip by 0.1%. Sales of automobiles increased 1.4%, jumping a full percentage point from the month before. Building materials and gardening equipment gained 2.2%, and furniture, electronics, and appliance stores, which were all down in April, bounced back with positive gains in May. Sales at restaurants and bars, the only services category in the report, also rose. Consumer spending accounts for more than 2/3 of U.S. economic activity. May's number, while down slightly from April, comes even as inflation and higher interest rates are causing consumers to be more selective and sensitive to prices. Spending has remained resilient thanks to strong wage gains resulting from a tight labor market. But the labor market is starting to show signs of weakness. A separate report from the Labor Department on Thursday showed initial claims for state unemployment benefits last week were unchanged from the week before at 262,000. That's more than what economists polled by Reuters had expected, forecasting 249,000. The unemployment rate, however, now at 3.7%, is still low by historical standards, with an average of 1.8 jobs open for every unemployed person.